Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rebecca, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit more about my novel, and so you guys can get to know it a little bit. And I hope this is interesting because I really like this book and I really like where it's going. So I had some fun with that. If you guys are new here, thank you so much for watching this video. I am an illustrator, graphic designer, small business owner, and an inspiring author. That is a mouthful. Yes, that is definitely a mouthful to say, but we are here. So this video is mostly talking about my novel. I have been writing this novel for 12 years, because it makes 12 years this year. And I finished draft 0 last year. So this book has really been marinating in my mind for a really long time now. And I'm really happy with the outcome of this book, mostly for the fact of the settings. It is an urban fantasy with themes of romance, revenge, self-love, and fated mates, because I'm a sucker for fated mates. I really love the aspects of just, you're going on this crazy journey and you're gonna find the love of your life. That's definitely me. Totally what I would read. When it comes to why I started writing this book, to be honest, this wasn't even supposed to be the first book, because I had another book which I am still drafting. I started last year during NaNoWriMo, and that was supposed to be the first book, and I have that book in my mind since I was like in grade 9. I think it was 12. So it's been a while. That one was supposed to be the first book, but I don't know, I think my mind just went like, no. You're starting backwards. We're not doing this. So that's technically how it ended up. We didn't do it. We just moved on. And then now we're on this book. And as I said, it takes place in an urban fantasy because I really love fantasy. I love fantasy for every type of fantasy. But knowing that you're living in a really normal place, just like with your computer or your phone or your camera, just having some fun times in a modern world. And poof, you have magic, you have fae, you have elves, you have orcs, you have a whole bunch of different creatures, like magical creatures in a world, and everyone just coexists. That is definitely my vibes, and this is definitely what I added to this book. We do have the main character, the two main characters, which is Abigail and Axel, mostly because this book is written in multiple POVs. There are other people that I do have points of view in this book for, but the main characters are definitely Abigail and Axel, because they are going through it, and I love them to bits. When it comes to Abigail, when I did draft 0, I didn't really like her that much. She had her problems, but I think I didn't know how to deal with her problems or the way she was acting, and that is not what I envisioned for my main character. I think also because when I drafted draft 0, I didn't really go on with, I didn't really have an outline. I just knew that I wanted her to get to point B, and then when she got to point B, she would to point B, this had to happen to get to point C. So I had a small outline with just where she needed to go, not the nitty-gritty of the entire book on how everything had to be placed and everything. So it was very small. It was just mostly me pantsing this book, but I did create character sheets for my characters, and when I created the character sheet, I got to know my characters on a different and more personal level. And I think for me, being someone who really likes Dungeons and Dragons, and me reminding me about Dungeons and Dragons while I record this, I still have to give in my character sheet to my DM. I will do that after I record this. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed using kind of that momentum that we have to creating our characters in D&D to, like, in my character, like, using that with my characters. So it was actually pretty fun. I do know that with Abigail, I only had like half a page done. And I thought it was weird because, like, she was the main character. She had to go through so much. And now writing the actual first draft, it's crazy because she is going through so much and I had so little on her. But it's mostly because I actually honestly didn't really know my character that well. Even though I did the character sheet, I felt like I didn't really know her that well, mostly because when I was writing her, it didn't go as planned. And I know why it didn't go as planned, because I was thinking about the old Abigail that I had written. Because before I had this draft, I had another idea for my character. And the way I depict her in the draft 0 is the way I was depicting her the first time I tried, like, writing this book. And now sitting here thinking about it, this is the reason why I couldn't get along with my character. But now that I know who she is, mostly because I finished draft 0 and I got to Act 2. Act 2 for me was like the game changer. I really enjoyed Act 2 of my draft 0. I actually have little notes that literally tell me, you know, if you want to add something from draft 0 into this draft, it's okay. Just don't forget, Abigail was annoying. You gotta change it. You have to make it fit the narrative. And I believe I really did that. I did make her fit the narrative of this book because I really enjoy her now. I find her to be fun. I find her to be very strong. She does have her human side, which I love humanizing my characters. So she does have a fun human side to her. She has a little bit of motivations. When it comes to Act 1, there are still a few things that I have to add. And I have realized that when I got to draft, why am I saying draft? I'm just thinking about drafts right now. When I got to Act 2, I did realize that I needed to write down 2 more chapters in Act 1, but it's like really in the back, so I just kind of left it as a note for myself. When I get into revising and going into the next version of this draft, I need to add these 2 chapters, mostly because I don't want her to be a Mary Sue, and I know she's not a Mary Sue, but I want to make it very clear to the readers that she is not a Mary Sue, that because there is a rule in the world that I built in that everyone can have magic. There are people who are born with it. You can learn it. You can make deals with certain people and they will give you magical powers. It is possible. But the rule, like the one rule for the magic system is mostly you have to have training. So it doesn't matter if you're never going to use your powers, you must have training. So that is one rule that I implemented, and I want to make sure that when people read this, they understand that she's not learning the magic she already knows, that she's learning other things, and that's why she sucks at them. She's good with the other stuff, but she sucks with the new one. and all of the doubts that she has that were made by her past. And I want that to be very clear to the reader. I didn't say the problem that Abigail had, right? No, that's true, I didn't. Okay, so Abigail, she has a little problem. I sound like that dude from TikTok. But anyway, she has a little problem. She has been having weird visions lately. She also has been recently discovering that she's been followed around. She's literally being followed around. And she believes that she's being followed. Why is that word going out so weird? It doesn't want to come out. She believes she's being followed by a ghost. And her life just turns upside down. Not because of the ghost, but because of plot-driven life that literally goes into this. She does find out that this ghost is not actually a ghost and that they are actually alive. And the minute she meets this person, a chain reaction happens and her life is just turned upside down. Her life was already a mess and she thought she was living a really comfortable, normal life. She kind of ends up seeing that this later on. She ends up seeing that no, her life was already a mess. So after she meets this person, things get a little bit worse because she ends up finding out that her visions have to do with the notorious Barrymore Witch. And the Barrymore Witch is also involved with a lot of disappearances with women throughout the Isles. They live in massive isles, but the isles are kind of like the sizes of literal continents. Fun fact, I was actually supposed to make the isles. They weren't supposed to be isles in the beginning. They were like everyone was going to be in a different continent around our known world. But my brain didn't want that. My brain did not want that. So I created my own little piece of land where everybody lives in. So by further along, I will show you guys the map where everything is, but not right now. Not right now. Not until I figure everything out. When it comes to my male protagonist, Axel, he's my baby. Well, him and two others. I love them so much. I cannot wait for people to start reading this and understand why I say this, because it's just, I love it. When I wrote Axel, how do I say this? I did change his name. I do use the name that I changed in the book. Axel has his own little problems. He is stuck with part of the soul of somebody else. So it's him and somebody else, like, literally running around. And he has to literally help Abigail because she is the only one who can stop the Barrymore Witch. Why? There is a lie, but you're gonna have to read the book to find out why. But yeah, when it came to Axel, I think I had so much fun writing him. Even when I did Draft Zero, I was already in love with this man the minute I wrote. The minute I started writing him. Like, I didn't even write him in paper yet. I just knew I was in love with this man. Because I humanized him so much. So much when I wrote his backstory. This man has 4 pages of backstory, okay? This was for Draft Zero. I changed him a little bit, but his backstory is still on par with what I've written right now. So he still has 4 pages of backstory, while Abigail got like half a page. So that's pretty sad. When it comes to the Barrymore Witch, she also has 4 pages of backstory, and I mostly kind of made her, how do I say, I really like watching C-dramas and K-dramas. And one thing I really love is how notorious their villains are. Especially, you know, because they pretend to be so innocent and so sweet. And I really enjoy that because it really gets on my nerves when it's like, it's right there that they're bad. And the people are like, how could they do that? It's like totally not them. So I kind of got in a little bit with my history of just really enjoying watching C and K dramas. So I kind of implemented that a little bit into the Barrymore Witch, which is, I really enjoy the Barrymore Witch on this draft more than I enjoyed in draft 0, because in draft 0 I didn't really write a lot about the witch. I think draft 0 for the first part of the act, the reason I didn't really like it was mostly because I was info dumping. Now that I sit to think, I was info dumping a lot. I think I had more info dumping than actual story. I think this is why there's that saying that the first draft is just you telling yourself the story. So I'm actually pretty glad that the info dumping was mostly in draft 0 and not on this one. When it comes to Act 2, I love Act 2 for draft 0, and I'm actually just making slight changes to the draft 0 Act 2 now into this draft because I really enjoyed it. I loved the pacing of it. I loved the dynamic of it. I loved the chaos that was Act 2. And I've already started implementing it now whilst I'm drafting this one. Have I written today? No. It is currently 8 o'clock and I have not written today. I also didn't write yesterday because I was tired and I took a break. But besides that, I'm actually really enjoying it. And I'm finally at a point where things are going to just... I just wanted to go downhill and I know how I'm going to do it, so I'm pretty excited to just get into it and go crazy. I know that a lot of things are probably going to change when I finish this draft and go into the next draft, but I'm okay with that because I think the subtle changes that I'm doing and the fact that I love reading and I love that I'm creating my own world, like my own fantasy world, really just shows that the fact that I have loved storytelling for just hearing or watching stories for my whole life, I can actually, when I sit down and see if I didn't really like something, I do know that I actually stop myself and be like, no, I don't like this. But why don't I like that? And then the reader part of me takes over, which is mostly like, I don't like this because it doesn't make sense with this, or because I'm contradicting myself because I said something else in the beginning of the book and this has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. So having a reader mind does help a lot when you're doing this. But policing yourself to make sure that you're not editing the book is another. So have fun with that. Yeah, so technically this week for me for writing was pretty fun. I did write a lot last week because Cody, the writer, it was Natalie and Taylor, they did a 10K sprint. They were doing a 10K weekend. I didn't get 10K. I think I got like 7,000 or something words in for that weekend, but it was really good. So I did write a lot. This week I also wrote a lot, so I'm actually pretty excited. I didn't write yesterday, like I said, but I'm okay with that. And it's good to take a little break so your brain could like shuffle things around and see what we can change. But besides that, I really enjoy the process that I'm having right now with this book, and I really want to get it done by the end of this month. So I need to end recordings for today and sit down and write. Yeah, I have said how the book is going so far. It's actually going pretty well. I really enjoy what I'm writing. Act 2 is wonderful, and I'm so glad that I'm actually on Act 2 right now. This book, I'm currently at 60. Let me check. With this book, I'm currently at 67,000 words written. My goal is 100,000. I'm still on chapter 20 something. No, I'm lying. I'm about to start chapter 31 of this book, and there's still a lot to go. And my goal is definitely 100,000 words. I know I'm gonna hit that 100,000 words, because draft 0 had 92,000 words, and I was kind of sad because I did not hit 100,000. But I didn't really need to hit 100,000 on draft 0 because I had already written the story and I was really happy that I finished the story. Yeah, the only thing that I've noticed is that certain topics make me laugh out loud. I was writing a certain scene where I'm just going to insert peppers. They're gonna be like some tiny peppers showing up on screen right now. And I was writing it and just laughing. I would stop and just be like, oh my god, what am I writing? Oh my god, what am I writing? And just having the time of my life, because this book is definitely an adult romance. Adult urban romance. Fantasy romance. And it was what the moment called for, what the scene called for, what my character called for. And one thing I have noticed that if I don't know what to write, I normally just put insert whatever here. I haven't done that yet. This one, I'm actually pretty excited about that. And that's how I know that things are flowing. I do already have the idea and the concept for book 2, so I'm happy with that. I will be showing you guys, it's gonna pop up on the screen right now, the mood board for this book. I am actually very excited with this mood board. It literally depicts the book literally. It literally depicts the book for what it is, 100%. The faces, the everything that I think and love, it's all there. It's all in this book, so it's pretty it's on top of what I want, and I'm really excited for it. Yeah, so this is a little bit more me yapping about my book today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was pretty fun for me to do, just talking about the book the way I did. I do need to sit down and write my blurb because I do know my book, and I just want to get it into a way of talking about it in a way that interests more people. That is what I need to do next, write a proper blurb just to have it so I can literally know what I'm going to do and what I'm going to write. Not what I'm going to write, what I'm going to properly say when the time comes. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this video. I had a lot of fun talking about this. I am actually going to end this video now because I need to go write, because this book ain't gonna write itself. So I'm gonna sit down. Well, I'm already seated. I'm gonna stop recording, and then I'm going to put some comfy clothes on, and I'm gonna go write down. I'm gonna go write some fun things. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had fun talking about this with you guys. If you guys have any questions on anything really, just pop it down into the comment section. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you guys want to watch the first video on this channel, it's right over here. And I will catch you guys next week, hopefully, for more videos. Love y'all. Bye.